All right, we're going live. I'll just tune you down a bit.
If you are curious what you can do about the current democratic system and the unfair and unequal distribution of resources, well, brothers and sisters, you have come to the right place.
We're just going to be crashing
the main
a
reason
meeting
we work hard to deliver content
for
to
HyperNation.
you,
Haven't seen one for a
and
while.
that is the main
I'll
reason
flick around the screen
you
while they're
work
talking.
hard to
Enjoy
spread
listening.
the word.
I'm
And
going to
that
be
is
quiet
why
in the
we are
background.
all gathered here today. We want to upend the monopoly of the ruling minority, and we vow that the HyperNation will be an equal, fair, and transparent platform that can solve the pain points of today's society. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Please, we are setting up the slide as we speak, and we will get today's public Zoom session on the roll.
Oops, I think I just stuffed up the screen.
Okay, so as you guys can see, this I know last week I said part 5 is the best Star Wars in the entire franchise, but let's give parts a chance as well. It was still entertaining. It brought an end to the entire series, and it's basically a Star Wars movie. But for today's presentation, frequently asked question part 6. Now, before we get on, allow me to introduce my partner in crime for today's presentation. That is none other than the most beautiful voice. He is in fact laughing right now. Speaker Liam, guys. Let's welcome Speaker Liam to the floor.
Hi guys, greetings. It's a great honor doing this part 6 FAQ sessions. While I have to disagree with Roy, my favorite Star Wars series was part 1. So get this show on the road.
Guys, all 161 of you and whoever who will be watching this video. Now, bear in mind, Speaker Liam just said the first Star Wars, and I'm going to quote him, the first Star Wars, The Phantom Pass. We have an issue there, guys, that will probably be addressed in the next FAQ. But okay, all jokes aside, let's get started with today's FAQ session, part 6.
All right, so Raul, we got one question from Pam. Do people get CP for co-hosting meetings? So I've been assisting every day for 3 weeks. One of my downline just wondering if this gets type of assisting community get points. Thank you. So what do you think about this?
Okay, Pam, do people get CP for co-hosting meetings? Well, currently, but before that, there's a ton of questions in the chat box related to CP. There's just a new one as of a couple of minutes ago from Jimmy asking us what is CP. So Pam, we will get back to your questions into your question in a bit, but of course, let's address what CP is in the first place. CP, otherwise known as contribution points, is a unique system of the HyperNation with a unique algorithm to calculate people's consensus and participation. When different people participate in HyperNation, they offer a variety of contributions. This, in the long run, promotes the progress of your contribution points. Now, you might be curious, why is it so important and to whom does it benefit? Well, reason number one is with respect to the national levels. We can't talk about contribution points without talking about national level. Now, your national level is determined by 2 factors. Factor number 1, community performance, and factor number 2, contribution points, because both of these factors plays an important role in maintaining your national level. To put it simply, your national level is determined by your contribution points, and your contribution points will affect the rise and fall of your national level. But regardless of this fluctuation, your community performance will remain unaffected. Now, that's just a little bit of introduction of what contribution points are. And back to Pam's question, do people get CP for co-hosting meetings? Unfortunately, you do not. However, you have put up a very good point there, Pam, and that is definitely something that we could look into in the near future. Probably get everyone rewarded for all your hard work. But as it stands, as it presently is, you will only get CP points if you get in touch with HyperNation's Zoom session, if you join our Zoom sessions, and not only that, there are also other a variety of options for you to get contribution points, such as registration as HyperNation citizens. Because choosing to register as a citizen of the HyperNation shows that you share our philosophy and worldview. Therefore, we have come to a point. Daily logging in into your HyperNation account, even this can prove beneficial. Even this can provide you contribution points. Daily logging in into the HyperNation account. And once again, the easiest way, guys, ladies and gentlemen, is to join the public. As for Twitter Space, we do not have contribution points for that yet, but public Zoom, we will definitely be giving out. So if you have any friends and families who are part of the entire community or part of who is trying to build his community and wishes to upgrade his national level, please get him to join our public Zoom session. Get your friends and family to join our public Zoom session, because there will be 200 contribution points given out at the end of the presentation. Well, I hope that answers your question, Pam. We will look forward to more questions if you have any in the upcoming FAQ session. Now, question number 2. Speaker Liam, you have fun asking me the first question. I would say you're rather throwing me under the bus because of the Star Wars remark, but now it's my turn to do the same. I'm going to ask you a question from DOK. Mr. DOK, I hope you are. And his question is, when does UBI start? Thanks. So, Speaker Liam, would you like to illuminate for DOK?
All right, and sorry, a bit of sore throat. Okay, so when does UBI even start? Okay, just to let you know, UBI stands for Universal Basic Income, and as what Raul just mentioned, this concept of UBI is to promote fairness, justice, and openness, and even transparency. So the moment you join HyperNation, the UBI starts. So what does it really even mean? So it's just that you will gain or earn based on how you work. Let's take for something, for example, let's take weekly mission. So weekly mission is actually a form of UBI mechanism. So if you work, if you finish a task, if you just finish your missions, if you do more, you gain more standard release rate, which is more returns, more earning. So this is what it means for UBI. All right, and just one more thing about from Raul. He just told me that this DOK is a miss. I hope that this answers your questions. And yes, this is basically the fundamentals of UBI.
Right, I got a message from Mr. Carl Miller. If you don't mind, I would like to quote you here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is imperative to take note that D is a lady. Now, we have no idea, but thank you so much, Carl, for putting that forward. D, no disrespect. We just wanted to answer your question. We hope that illuminates your question. Thank you so much.
All right, so I think you had fun asking me questions as well. For the next question, so how a HyperNation member gets benefits by liquidity mining? Raul, can you do the honor?
Right. Chandra Shekhar Bandre. I hope I got that right. How does a HyperNation member gets benefited from liquidity mining? So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let's have a little bit of walkthrough of what actually liquidity mining is. It's the first feature is the HyperNation's liquidity mining, which is a decentralized finance mechanism wherein participants provide some of their crypto assets into a liquidity pool from which they are rewarded with a steady stream of tokens and fees. Now, if you're interested to cannonball, we invite you to visit hyperyield.io/farms and select get HNT USDT LP. Of course, LP means liquidity provider or liquidity provider tokens. Then you will be redirected to PancakeSwap, and this is where the fun begins. First, you will need to ready your assets in equal value. In this case, because we have chosen the HNT USDT pool to do this little experiment or for this storytelling bit, we will have to provide equal value of HNT and USDT. Next, holders deposit said assets by clicking Add Liquidity. Upon submission, you are then considered as a liquidity provider and are entitled to the rewards. Just by doing these simple steps, you will be given liquidity provider tokens, otherwise known as LP tokens, as a proof of providing liquidity. Now, the icing on the cake, while all of this is taking place, in exchange for your contribution fees, you will be rewarded with a share of the trading fees. LPs, liquidity providers, enjoy trading fees courtesy of the HNT USDT pool at PancakeSwap. All you have to do is simply collect your LP tokens, sit back, and wait for the rewards to come rolling in. And that.
Rob, you talk about liquidity mining. One more thing that HyperNation members can get benefit by it as well.
Right. So, if another movie quote, if you may, we can't talk about Harry Potter last one. We can't talk about part 2 without mentioning about part 1. So, part 1 out of the way, which is liquidity mining, you have gotten your LP tokens. Now, what is the next step? It's just a very simple one-step process. All you have to do is stake your head on down to hyperhill.io/farms. Once you have obtained your LP tokens, just input the amount to stake and click on confirm. Voila, it's just as simple as that. And that is a brief overview of what liquidity mining and hyper is. Now back to Chandrasekhar's question. What are the benefits of liquidity mining and hyper yield aggregator? Well, number one, if it wasn't obvious enough, extra rewards in a passive manner. Liquidity mining is an excellent means of earning passive rewards for the liquidity providers. Number two, flexible and permissionless. Anyone can provide liquidity provided they own a non-custodial wallet and they have the necessary funds. Furthermore, removal of LP tokens is not restricted by any means and can be deposited or withdrawn at any time you desire. Number three, which is the low entry barrier. There is no minimum capital requirement. You are free to stake however much you want. Liquidity providers can also compound their rewards to increase their stake in the pool, making this strategy accessible to all levels of investors. Last but not least, fair distribution. Decentralized exchanges utilize liquidity pools to distribute their governance tokens. This platform will reward liquidity providers by the ratio of their contribution towards the liquidity pool. Now, one last bit of information regarding the HyperNode aggregator. We spoke that you stake LP tokens, liquidity provider tokens, but what do you get in return? Well, you will get the HyperNation's very own addition to the token family, HWT, Hyper Wallet Token. Now, if you've been a keen follower of our presentations, if you are part of our Twitter space, if you're part of our Twitter channel, you follow our Twitter channel, you know HWT is on the rise. The value is appreciating. We are coming up with all kinds of features that allows you to utilize HWT. And you probably have already heard we have a HWT welfare, also known as leisure welfare. But for the time being, it was sold out, although being made available twice. Who knows, in the future, it might make a comeback. So what better time to prepare yourself with the necessary HWT that you could use in the future? Okay, now that was a mouthful, and I'm probably gonna need to take a sip of water for now. So question 4 will be handled by the most beautiful voice of the HyperNation, Speaker Liam. Now, Speaker Liam, we have Lloyd Morrow here with a question, contribution points. Why is it that only those subscribed to the packages are only the ones welcome to get the points? I personally haven't bought a CWP, I assume is a citizen welfare package, but I am actively involved. That is not fair for me. Lloyd Merrill, so Speaker Liam, I pass his question to you.
All right. Just okay, sorry. I'm still reluctant to accept the role of being the beautiful voice of HyperNation, but okay, so Lloyd, just to let you know, if you join HyperNation, if you already registered yourself in the app, you will see that's only your NFT. So if you have the NFT and you do not have any welfare, basically the contribution point will not be counted in it because there's no welfare for it to um how to say there's no welfare for it to be for your national levels. Just for your understanding, let me recap what Raul just mentioned. He did mention about national levels with contribution points. All right. So remember to put it simply, your national levels determines the reward you enjoy. And your national level is determined by contribution point. So your contribution point will affect basically the rise and fall, the fluctuation of your national level, and your community performance will remain unaffected. So contribution points serve as an important role in maintaining your national level. And also it allows you to enjoy the reward. So do remember is that if you have a community, you will need a welfare and of course they will have to bind to you and subscribe to welfare. Basically the rewards will be from there. It goes down all the way to tier 20. And of course, it will depend on your national level. Just remember, if you have a community and if you want to enjoy more rewards, of course, you will have to have must have a welfare and your downlines must have welfare to increase your national levels, and your national level determines of the rewards you will receive. So I think this is basically it for Lloyd. So Raul, there's many questions of the hyperverse related, many of the other hyperverse related questions. So you want to address this problem?
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to address this. We have to address this elephant in the room because in just a moment we will be sending out a form which contains your token ID and your HyperNation email. And we have also added another feature in which we can obtain questions from you. We would like to address them. It would be an absolute honor to address your questions in the next session. And you can see that we have input the names of the person who puts forward the question, meaning these questions are not generated by us. We genuinely and seriously want to answer your questions. However, we found that this platform is sometimes abused when we have a large number of people who put forward questions related to the HyperVerse. Now, it's time for us to take a rather firm stand and make it clear to everyone in this session. Citizens need to be clearly aware that the HyperNation and other hyper projects are separate initiatives and that managed by different teams. There will be no relation and no cooperation between the HyperNation and previous hyper projects. Right? I have to be firm. I have to take a stand because there are people who have genuine questions related to HyperNation and what it is we are offering. So please do not abuse this mechanism. We genuinely would like to answer the question. So please,
just in case you listen to this, do not think this is real or a good opportunity. I'm simply broadcasting this on my
now we're going to be doing something that we have never done
channel
before, which is
to hopefully save you from losing your money.
There's been a surplus of messages coming to me.
I can turn them down actually. Yeah, so this is just a HyperNation meeting that I've stumbled across. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the live chat and I'll answer them. But we'll be doing a lot of work on exploiting HyperNation and its referral systems and its a Ponzi scheme.
However, there's nothing wrong in that. You have a questions. We will definitely try our best to provide you the answers. So with regards to HNT, we have several points to talk about it. Let's begin. The recent surge in the cryptocurrency market is much anticipated. We have examples like Bitcoin making a comeback, surpassing the $21,000 mark for the first time in months. However, contrary to that, the HyperNation token is trending rather low, we understand, swapping hands to as low as $0.578 as the time of writing, of course, and significantly declining from over $1. For those of you who, the most prominent question that we receive is what happened? Obviously, it's because that some may have left the crypto party to pursue other opportunities. We can't stop them, of course. And certainly, everyone in the community is rather worried about this situation. With all due respect, the price of a cryptocurrency is determined by market sentiment, in which seller supply naturally matches buyer's demand. Hodlers are contented in any case. Hence, price movement is a healthy sign of fair trading. Otherwise, the price would have stagnated. This is the perfect opportunity for us to use the mantra buy low, sell high. While a firm price signals the rising risk, a softening price is a golden opportunity for position addition, since it implies an upside potential as well as higher profit margins. If you want to enter the market, now is the time. This dogma resonates with Warren Buffett's famous quote, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful.
So, why are people selling off when the price is low? Things take time to build, and Rome was no exception. The same is true for your relationships, friendships, and even your HNT ownerships. Those who devote their time and energy to what they believe in will undoubtedly witness the breaking down. Despite this golden rule, most people lack the perseverance, to remain that long. As a result, we can only say goodbye to the faint of heart. Just imagine those who had to let go of Bitcoin when it went as low as $3,000. Perseverance says it all. Of course, some people may have taken money out to cover living expenditures. Also, in conjunction with New Year's celebration, some might have cash out to cover festive season's expenses, especially when the labor market slows down after a protracted holiday season. Aside from that, because this is merely the beginning, it is nearly impossible for the HNT token to hit ground zero. The whole scope of the mega project has yet to be revealed, but it is poised for far greater things to come.
Thank you, Speaker Liam, for enlightening us. And to cap it off, we would like to say that exciting progress will be revealed soon. HNT will withstand the test of time, whether in a bull or bear market. In the near future, the HyperNation has a slew of pretty interesting things planned for everyone, such as an exciting play-to-earn game called HyperPlanet and a cross-chain wallet system called HyperWallet, just to name a few. Those that decided to part with HNT will regret their acute withdrawal once the plans are implemented. Remember, HODL is the fundamental principle for all cryptocurrency believers. Sit back, relax, and touch some grass when the price comes down. We believe this is a long-term project, and if you think long-term, if you play the delayed gratification game, all you have to do is stay cool, and you will see that this is simply a small turmoil. The price will eventually readjust and rebound back on its own. Just one more thing, stay tuned for more updates, as we would like to say that more exciting news is on the horizon.
And just another note for you guys, at the time of publishing, HNT has already surged 12.64% to 0.686. When market's confidence returns, we are set for the moon.
So we would like to humbly say thank you for your time and attention. However, as promised, we will be sending out the contribution points form right now.
Right, so that sounds like they're over. I'm just sending my it's not in the meeting, so they've gone. So that's crazy. So have a look at these people in here,
Right.
guys.
Brothers and sisters, please, if I
I'll
could
probably be
divert
kicked out of
your
here now because I've
attention
just sent
into the
them a
chat box,
message.
we have already sent out.
I've just sent them a message of my YouTube channel, so that's not going to happen. But if you know anyone in here, bit of a laugh. So we now have 197 people in here. I'm just trying to flick through this screen, but it doesn't seem to work.
That's not all. We also have something new for all of you who would like to hear more content from us. Please give
No
me a
thanks.
second to gather the necessary information.
So how you do it? No. Probably going to get kicked out of here in a minute.
Okay, now if you look in the chat box again, we have a Twitter page for the HyperNation. This is where you will get all your updates about what's happening, where it's happening, how it's happening, who is involved,
don't know if you can see
things
that.
like that. Then we also have a very new YouTube page. Now this is just a secret between you and me. This is just between us. All right, this is just between participants and corporate speaker. If you would like to hear, if there are moments in your day where you would like to hear from us or listen to Speaker Liam, Speaker Jean, myself, Raul, Speaker Kia, Speaker Adam, or Speaker Lina, this is the right place to go. It's a YouTube page in which we provide our actual content with our actual voices rather than listening to animatronic voices or robotic voices. This is us coming up with contents. Now, please also use the form provided if you have any questions, and also if there's any content that you would require a YouTube video or a tutorial or a walkthrough, anything goes. Get in touch with us, and of course, there will be a large number of questions and requests, so we will try to address them with as much as the time allows. Right, ladies and gentlemen,
very good at this
thank you so much for your time and attention. Thank you so much for having a large crowd here. However, I do believe that we can do better. Please tell all your
Notice that they're all young people.
Join our session, because just imagine the amount of things they would miss out if they do not join the session. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your time and attention. We will leave the room open for a couple of minutes for you to digest the 3 links sent out. Just to recap, number 1 is your contribution points. Number 2 is the HyperNation's Twitter page. And number 3 is our little secret YouTube page for corporate speaker and
hey, Jim, what are you doing in here?
Leave a like, leave a subscribe, and we will do our best to provide at least 2 videos every week to illuminate you, to give you insights. Empress,
Jim's helping me.
Carl Miller, LV, thank you so much for putting forward your questions. Mantesh, who else? I'm just scrolling here and just looking for a name. Suvan, Amjad Khan, Sain Fiwe, Sofozi. I pray I got that right. JP, Peru's iPhone. Thank you so much for putting forward your questions. The room will be open in 2 minutes. Yes, Empress, there is only 1 form. However, there are 3 links. The only thing you have to fill up is the form. The links are for you to enjoy our contents, and for you to stay updated with all our materials. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a rather lengthy session. Thank you so much for being here. Have a very, very pleasant day. Take care of yourself. Stay safe and stay united.
Oh dear, well, that's a bit of fun. I'm literally sending them a YouTube. I'm trying to send them links in the chat box to flood it. It's quite time consuming. There we go. You can't see the chat box, unfortunately. But I sent them a link where they can actually see all the information I actually have on them. And if they're clever enough, they can click it. Look. Whoops. Oh yeah, I want to get rid of that music. Yeah, so that's interesting. So if you have a look at those people in these rooms, you've got to really think. I can't turn my camera on because I turned it off so you didn't get my head in this. But these are people that have been invited in here. not necessarily people who are leaders. So this is just Joe Blogs people. So there's currently 115 in the room. There was nearly 200, and now everyone's leaving, 110, 108, so forth. And soon it will just be me. So they'll just turn that off. Okay, let's see what happens. I just sent them my YouTube channel. I have one new message. Please subscribe to our YouTube page. It means the world to us. I certainly have. So that was a bit of fun. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I'll go back to blocking Cindy Piper from going through all my Facebook friends. And hope you guys are doing all right. It's 30 minutes of my life I'll never get back. See you guys.